President John Dramani Mahama has called for a significant increase in Ghana's investment in research and development, stating that the country should be spending about 6 billion cedis annually to strengthen its scientific and innovation capacity. Speaking at the official launch of the Ghana National Research Fund in Accra, Mahama said investment in research is critical if Ghana is to achieve economic sovereignty and reduce its dependence on imported technologies and expertise. He argued that Ghana must align itself with the African Union's recommendation that member states dedicate at least 1% of gross domestic product (GDP) to research and development. The president noted that the current funding provisions under the Ghana National Research Fund Act fall short of the African Union's benchmark, emphasizing the need for the country to rethink its approach to financing research and innovation. Mahama stressed that investment in research should not be viewed as an expenditure, but as a strategic tool for driving economic growth, productivity, and national competitiveness.
Across Africa, there is a growing recognition that true economic sovereignty cannot be achieved without scientific sovereignty. Countries that rely entirely on imported technologies, data, expertise, and solutions will always remain vulnerable. The future belongs to nations capable of generating their own solutions to their challenges. Ghana must be one of those nations. And that is why the African Union's target of investing at least 1% of GDP in research and development must be viewed not merely as a spending target, but as a strategy for competitiveness, productivity, and ultimately sovereignty. Unfortunately, Act 1056 is contrary to the AU target. We capped at 1056 at not more than 0.5% of GDP. So already we are misaligned with the AU target. And so we need to look at that. Now, if you take the expanding GDP of Ghana, our GDP from 2024 was 88 billion. Now it's 114 billion. So take out your calculators and work the maths. 1% of 114 billion will give you a certain figure. And when you get that figure, even just divided by 2 to get 0.5. It means that we should be investing about 6 billion cedis every year in research. That is the target. And nobody says that Ghana should provide all that money. With our international partners, we should be able to raise sufficient money to invest in research. But we must start somewhere, so I'll announce something modest.
President John Dramani Mahama announced an immediate allocation of 100 million Ghana cedis to support the operational launch of the Ghana National Research Fund in 2026, describing the move as a major step towards strengthening the country's research and innovation ecosystem.
Accordingly, I'm pleased to announce an immediate catalytic allocation of 100 million cedis to support the operational launch of the Ghana National Research Fund for 2026. And so I'm requesting the Ministry of Education in collaboration with the GET Fund and the Fund's Governing Board to ensure the transparent, accountable, and resource-oriented deployment of these resources. The initial investment of the 100 million cedis will support competitive national research grants, doctoral and postdoctoral research programs, digital grants management systems, strategic innovation initiatives, and priority research programs that are aligned with national development objectives. This allocation reflects government's commitment to building a sustainable and credible national research finance ecosystem. In addition, government will ensure the fully and timely implementation of the provisions of Act 1056 on the mobilization and release of resources for research funding. I therefore request the Ministries of Finance, Education, environment, science, and technology to progressively operationalize the statutory financing framework established under the Ghana Research Fund Act, so that the fund will develop with scale, continuity, and predictability necessary for long-term national impact.